Have you ever thought that some habits you believe are good might actually be stealing years from your life? No, I'm not talking about eating fried food or skipping exercise. I'm talking about things you do every single day without realizing they are silently accelerating your aging process. Stop these 5 habits immediately, because if you don't, you might be fast-forwarding your own aging journey. The sooner you recognize them, the longer you can maintain your health and peace of mind. Let's see if you're guilty of any of these. 1. Stop reading too much news. The more you know, the more you stress. Have you ever felt overwhelmed after reading the news? If so, welcome to the Information Overload Club, where millions of people voluntarily burden their minds every day just because they can't stop consuming news. You think keeping up with the news every day makes you more informed, right? Well, in theory, yes. But in reality, your brain is not an unlimited storage unit. It's a processing machine with limits. When you overload it with too much news, especially negative news, it gets exhausted. The result? Stress, anxiety, and even insomnia. Don't just take my word for it. Look at the research. A study found that people exposed to excessive negative news had a 27% higher risk of anxiety. In other words, if you spend an hour a day reading about natural disasters, wars, and economic crises, even if these events don't affect you directly, your mood will still take a nosedive. Your brain doesn't differentiate between real danger and words on a screen. It just reacts with stress. Still skeptical? Imagine this. You don't invest in stocks, but every day you watch news about the market crashing. Every morning you see headlines like stock market plummets, global economy on the brink of collapse. Your bank account remains untouched, yet your heart races as if you just lost your entire life savings. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? So, what's the solution? Don't let the news control your emotions. This doesn't mean you should be uninformed or live in ignorance, but rather that you should filter the information that truly matters to your life. Try a news diet. Limit your news consumption. Instead of scrolling endlessly all day, dedicate just 15 minutes in the morning to catching up on important updates. Choose reliable sources. Avoid clickbait and sensationalized headlines that exist only to grab your attention. Prioritize positive news. There are plenty of good things happening in the world. You just don't see them as often. Bottom line, don't let your day start with unnecessary panic over dramatic headlines. Consuming less news won't make you less intelligent. It will just make you less anxious and allow you to live more peacefully. 2. Stop trying to live too scientifically. Because your body is not a math formula. Have you ever felt like you're turning life into a math problem to solve? Waking up and drinking exactly 50 ml of water, eating breakfast with 25 g of protein, walking precisely 10,000 steps, sleeping exactly 7 hours and 45 minutes. It sounds scientific, but in reality, living this way is exhausting. I once saw a friend meticulously tracking every milliliter of water she drank, every minute of sleep, every step she took. She said, "Everything has a formula. You have to follow it to be healthy and live long." But the problem was, she became extremely stressed whenever she deviated from her plan. Missed one glass of water? She worried all day. Walked only 9,500 steps? She felt like a total failure. So, are we living to be healthy or living to make ourselves miserable? The truth is, the human body doesn't function like a machine that follows exact numbers. Studies show that the longest living people in the world don't stick to rigid health formulas. They don't count calories, don't track their steps, and some don't even drink the recommended 8 glasses of water a day. Yet they still live happily and healthily into their 90s or even 100s. What's their secret? Listening to their bodies instead of forcing them into a strict routine. Let's look at reality. Some people sleep only 6 hours and feel energetic all day, while others need 9 hours to function properly. Some people drink very little water and stay healthy, while others always need to carry a water bottle with them. In some parts of the world, people eat lots of carbs and have little illness, while in other places, diets are high in fat and protein, yet people still thrive. This proves that there is no universal formula for everyone. Trying to live strictly by numbers only adds pressure. And as we all know, stress is the #1 enemy of health. So instead of chasing after so-called health standards online, try a simpler approach. Listen to your body. If you're thirsty, drink water. Don't force yourself to drink 8 glasses a day if you don't need it. If you're sleepy, sleep. Don't lie in bed for exactly 8 hours if your body only needs 6. If you enjoy walking, take a walk. But don't stress if you only reach 5,000 steps instead of 10,000. Living a healthy life doesn't mean turning your existence into a spreadsheet. Just relax, listen to your body, and enjoy life. That's the real secret to living long and living happily. 3. Stop rejuvenating with technology, because you're literally aging in reverse. Have you ever seen someone who seems to stay young forever, but in a slightly unsettling way? The kind of person whose face doesn't move when they smile, whose forehead stays smooth like glass even when they're surprised. Yes, that's the side effect of overusing rejuvenation technology. Nowadays, many people believe that just by injecting Botox, getting fillers, or having skin tightening procedures, they can cheat time. But the truth is, the more you try to reverse aging this way, the faster you actually age, literally. The reason is simple. The human body doesn't like being forced. Botox works by paralyzing muscles, preventing wrinkles from forming. But when muscles stay inactive for too long, they weaken, lose elasticity, and cause the skin to sag even faster than normal. Similarly, fillers can instantly plump up the face, but over time, they may distort skin structure, making facial features look unnatural and strange. Imagine this. Your face is like a leather chair. When it's new, it's soft and elastic. But if you keep artificially inflating it, one day, that leather will lose its natural stretch. The result? You don't look younger, you just look different. You've probably seen someone whose face looks younger than their age, yet lacks natural expressions. They smile, but there are no wrinkles. They're surprised, but their eyes remain wide open like a wax statue. They may look young, but they've lost the liveliness of a real human being. So how can you stay youthful without relying on these artificial methods? The secret isn't in a syringe, it's in your lifestyle. Eat healthily. Instead of injecting fillers into your cheeks, fill your body with leafy greens, fruits, and collagen-rich foods like salmon, eggs, and soy. Exercise regularly. Workouts like yoga and Pilates not only keep your body flexible but also firm up your skin, giving it a natural glow. Get enough sleep. Did you know your body produces collagen while you sleep? Instead of injecting fillers, let your sleep do the work naturally. Stay happy. They say, laughter keeps you young. And it's true. When you're happy, your brain releases endorphins, making your skin glow, your eyes shine, and your aura more youthful than any Botox treatment ever could. 4. Stop living for your children and grandchildren, because you also need to live for yourself. Do you ever feel like a free caregiving service for your children and grandchildren? Cooking porridge for your grandchild in the morning, picking up another grandchild from school at noon, preparing dinner for the whole family in the evening. And what about yourself? Oh, it seems you've forgotten that you have a life of your own. Many grandparents see their grandchildren as the center of the universe, sacrificing everything to care for the family. This comes from love, but here's a truth that few realize. When you forget yourself, you're also harming yourself. A study from Harvard University found that elderly people who spend time on personal hobbies live longer and have lower rates of depression than those who focus solely on their families. In other words, taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's a way to live longer and healthier so you can continue loving your family. Think about it. Have you ever called your children, hoping to hear, "How are you, Mom and Dad?" But instead, they only ask, "What did my child eat today?" It stings, doesn't it? But the truth is, it's not that your children are ungrateful. It's that you've unintentionally placed yourself in the role of a caretaker in your own family. And when you do this for too long, everyone starts taking it for granted. So, how can you love your children and grandchildren while still living for yourself? Rediscover your hobbies. Did you once love gardening, painting, or dancing? Start again. Life isn't just about cooking and babysitting. Make new friends. Don't just stay within four walls. Go outside, join clubs, and meet people who share your interests. You'll see that old age can be full of joy. Learn to say no. You don't have to be available the moment your children need help. A gentle refusal like, "I'm busy with yoga today, maybe another time," doesn't mean you don't love your family. It just means you deserve time for yourself, too. Remember, you weren't born just to be a support system for your children and grandchildren. You have your own joys, dreams, and passions. And if you live happily, that is the greatest gift you can give to your family. 5. Stop worrying about death, because it will come, but not right now. Have you ever met someone who worries about death every single day? They wake up and check their blood pressure, read news about diseases at lunch, then spend the evening Googling symptoms, only to conclude, oh no, I must have a terminal illness. If this sounds familiar, congratulations, you're still healthy enough to be worried. Many older adults spend too much time fearing the inevitable. They worry about illnesses, sudden passing, being left uncared for, or even not having written their will in time. But here's the paradox. The more you worry about death, the more you forget that you are still alive. A fascinating study from Japan found that people who don't obsess over age and death tend to live an average of 7 years longer than those who constantly worry about it. So instead of counting down the days, why not make every moment count? Look around. Do you see people who appear younger than their age, full of energy, and happily enjoying life? It's not because they have some miracle anti-aging drug. It's simply because they don't let fear control their lives. Meanwhile, those who constantly stress about illness and death often end up weakening their bodies faster. Ever seen someone spend an entire day looking up symptoms online? It starts with a mild headache, but after a few Google searches, they're convinced it could be a sign of 10 serious diseases. By the end of the day, they've diagnosed themselves with only months to live, when in reality, it was just too much coffee. So, what's the solution? Stop self-diagnosing illnesses. If you have health concerns, see a doctor instead of spiraling into fear after reading the internet. Learn to enjoy the moment. Try spending a day without complaining or worrying about tomorrow. Just focus on enjoying the present. You'll realize that life is still beautiful. Focus on what you can control. You can't decide when you'll go, but you can decide how you live each day. And remember, if you live fully, you'll have no regrets when the time comes. So instead of asking, how much time do I have left? Ask yourself, how will I make the most of this time? So, we've just gone through 5 things that might be making your later years less joyful than they should be. Remember, don't let negative news drain your spirit every day. The world has plenty of wonderful things. You just won't see them if you only focus on the darkness. Don't turn life into a mathematical formula. No one wins a gold medal for drinking exactly 8 glasses of water or walking exactly 10,000 steps. Just relax and listen to what your body needs. Don't chase after technology to stay young, only to realize you're aging in reverse. Literally, youth isn't in the number of injections. It's in how you care for yourself from the inside. Don't live only for your children and grandchildren while forgetting yourself. You're not a full-time employee of your family. Make time to enjoy your own life. And finally, don't waste time worrying about death. It will come, but for now, you're still alive. So enjoy it. See? Aging isn't a stage to endure. It's a chance to enjoy life even more. Live as if you have 50 more years to experience everything, because who knows, maybe you actually do. So, which of these 5 things are you guilty of? Comment below. You might find out you're not alone. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe because I have so many more interesting stories to share with you.